This Spotlight on Income Planning is sponsored by Synergy Marketing. When your clients win, you win. For more information, please visit synergyannuity.com. The White House could be willing to compromise with Republicans on expanding the level of income that would qualify for the Bush tax cut extension, according to Vice President Joe Biden. Quote, "Compromise is always possible. I think it's important we get the middle-class tax cut made permanent. And so I think we're open to the Republicans, if they really mean it, if they're talking about deficit reduction, if they're willing to move. I think there's a possibility," unquote. Thus far, the administration has maintained that tax cuts should only be extended to couples making less than $250,000 a year and individual taxpayers making less than $200,000 annually. Biden also recently dismissed the thought that Congress would allow all of the tax cuts to expire. Most investors' biggest fear is being misled by their advisors, according to Hearts and Wallets Quantitative Panel 2010. Nearly 60% of investors ages 28 to 64 cited being scammed by advisors as their top concern. Meanwhile, nearly half of investors near or in retirement said they are afraid of being ripped off by their financial advisor. Consequently, 54% of affluent investors ages 28 to 64 labeled themselves as self-directed, up from 29% in 2008. 38% of pre- and post-retirees also said they were self-directed, up from 36% in 2008. The study also found that 7 out of 10 investors work with a financial advisor, while 1/3 that use full-service advisory firms still consider themselves their primary source of investment advice. According to Laura Varas, a principal with Hearts and Wallets, quote, "This is more about investors wanting to understand what is going on and ultimately making their own investment decisions. But many of them are still looking to advisors," unquote. The recent recession caused many Americans to focus on saving for retirement, according to a recent survey by the Hartford Financial Services Group. The survey found that 76% of respondents said they completely or mostly understood their retirement plan's benefits this year, up from 65% in 2009. Women's understanding of retirement benefits improved drastically, with 69% saying they completely or mostly understood their benefits in 2010, compared with 56% last year. Meanwhile, men's understanding improved from 75% last year to 83% in the most recent survey. Overall, 43% of respondents said they now view their retirement plan as more important than they did before the recession, while 49% said they consider it as important as before the recession. Among respondents whose employer offered a 401k or other defined contribution plan, 84% were enrolled in a plan, compared with 80% last year. 70% of women surveyed said they were enrolled in a plan in 2010, compared with 61% in 2009, while the participation rate among men rose 5% to 71%. Meanwhile, 22% said tough economic conditions had caused them to reduce or cease contributions to their plan, while 20% of respondents said matching contributions from employers were reduced or eliminated in 2010. For more industry spotlights, visit producersweb.com.